Good evening. My name is KT Ramarao. I am a politician. I know most of you loathe politicians, most of you hate politicians. So I'll try and keep this simple, try and keep this as brief as possible. I come from Telangana. I worked as a minister for about 10 years, from 2014 until 2023. Prior to joining politics, I've had a bit of exposure working in the Western world. I have 2 master's degrees, one in biotechnology from Pune University and one more in business administration from City University of New York. Then I worked in the corporate world for about 6.5, 7 years, came back to India, worked here for 2 more years, and then eventually joined the statehood agitation for Telangana in 2006. For about 8 years, I was part of this public movement for statehood for Telangana. In 2014, after the state of Telangana was formed, we were given a chance to serve the people, and I became a minister for the first time in 2014. For about 10 years, I've handled multiple portfolios, including technology, commerce, industry, urban development, municipal administration, handlooms, etc., etc. So why am I here? I'm here to share some of my thoughts, some of my learnings, and also to hear from you on what you want from politics and politicians and probably governments as well. I wanted to start off by saying 2 things. One, when I look around, when I see you, I see a lot of restless people, trigger happy, quick to go on to the digital world, wanting to put out a statement, wanting to put out a post a story, set a reel, restless, young, ambitious, bold. That's Gen Z if we have to quickly sum up. You're truly the DIY generation, not the do-it-yourself, but disruptive, imaginative, absolutely youthful generation is what Gen Z is all about. I would like to believe that my state, Telangana, is also a Gen Z state. Wanted to start off by saying 3 things. One, when we start looking at events like this, thank you NDTV for this wonderful gathering, because this is a unique opportunity for lawmakers, for politicians to interact, to mingle, to understand what Gen Z really wants. When I look through this room, I can think of 3 Gen Z journeys. One, of course, my children. I have a 20-year-old and a 16-year-old. So obviously, both Gen Z, and both of them, of course, grill me more than probably what Padmaja would, more than what any journalist could, on several issues of social relevance. 2, of course, I meet a lot of youngsters as part of my job. I interact with a number of youngsters. I talk to a lot of youngsters. I keep getting fresh bout of energy every so often when I speak to them. 3, my state, which has done tremendously well in the last 10 years. Gen Z has truly conquered, has truly led the charge on the digital mediums. You guys have literally taken the world by storm, across the world. I'm not even talking India, I'm not talking my state. One of the things that I can think of from my state, where Gen Z had a positive impact by way of social media activism, was as recent as about 3 months ago. In my state, in my city, Hyderabad, when the government of Telangana wanted to sell about 400 acres of forest land, Gen Z, in the form of Hyderabad Central University students, led the charge and started demanding answers from the government on why they're selling a valuable piece of urban lung space, which is also a demarcated forest. Went on for a while. Eventually, even though the government was non-responsive, this apex court of India, the Supreme Court, responded. Supreme Court came to the rescue, and eventually, because of Gen Z's media activism, social media activism, 400 acres of land in Hyderabad was saved purely because of that activism. Now, does that mean mere social media activism? Does that mean mere social media presence is enough? No. I think Gen Z also has to step in, understand that this is your moment. This is your moment to seize. Why am I saying that? Because as the world is getting older, India is getting younger. India's median age today is 27. More than 50% of India is less than the age of 35. This is your time, this is your opportunity under the sun. This is the opportunity that you can seize. In case you're thinking this lecture is getting really boring, let me give you 3 examples of how generations in the past, youngsters in the past, have redefined their country's destinations. In 1985, China and India. You all know China, you all use Chinese products, I'm sure. China and India both had a similar sized economy in 1985. But today, if you look back, exactly 40 years later, India's economy is around $4 trillion, whereas China is almost $20 trillion. They're 5 times bigger than us. In mid-1980s, we were similar in terms of GDP size, in terms of per capita. In fact, China was lower. They were $300, we were $500. And today, China is about $13,000 of per capita. India is only 2,700. What happened? Where did we miss the bus? How did they race past us? I think one simple thing. They were focused on the best. They wanted to beat the best. They were focused on the US. They were wanting to be better than Europe. Whereas India, we were happy comparing ourselves to Pakistan. We were very busy comparing ourselves to Bangladesh. And we were thankful that, we were growing. That's all. We didn't care that others were growing faster, others were doing better. The second example I'd like to give you is that of Japan. I'm sure all of you have Japanese products at your home, possibly one of the cars, one of the electronic goods you use, etc., etc. Now, Japan, for those of you who are probably familiar, you're Gen Z, so you're born post-97. 50 years prior to that, in 1945, Japan actually is the only country on planet Earth which had experienced a nuclear attack. 2 Japanese cities were bombed, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Lakhs of people died in World War II in Japan. But what did Japan do? Did it lose its hope? Did it give up? Did it throw in the towel? Japan has so many odds stacked up against it. In terms of size, Japan is only 1/9 of India. In terms of inhabitable space in the country, inhabitable as in human inhabitable, only 30% of Japan is inhabitable by humans. 70% of the terrain is inhospitable. And also, only 11% of Japan is actually good. Japanese land is good for cultivation. Almost 89% is not good. And also, Japan is frequently rocked by earthquakes, volcanoes, tsunamis. So there are natural disasters and then man-made disasters like atom bomb. But Japan didn't give up. After 1945, it only took Japan 23 years to rebuild from a disaster, from devastation, to absolute economic miracle. And by 1968, in less than 23 years, just by sheer innovation, industrialization, just by culture and mindset, Japan has become the 3rd largest economy in a span of 23 years. And in about another 20 years, Japan has become 2nd largest economy. And even as we speak today, it is the 4th or 5th largest economy in the world. And the third example that I would like to give is that of my state, Telangana. I know all of you are trigger happy, all of you have butterfingers when it comes to cell phones. May I request all of you to pull out your phones for a second? Please. Please open Google. Please type in the world's largest lift irrigation project. World's largest lift irrigation project. And I think you would find the answer. That is, can anybody tell me, please? Anyone? Kaleshwaram project in our own country, in my state, Telangana. It's not India's largest, it's the world's largest project. May I also request you, bade bhai 2 minute ruk ja yaar, 2 minute. May I also request you, world's largest Amazon campus. You know, you all use Amazon. World's largest Amazon campus. Where is it? Which city? Can you please say it loud? We are in Bombay. Hyderabad. Thank you very much. And the third question I'd ask you, world's largest innovation campus. World's largest innovation campus. Anybody? T-Hub, Hyderabad. So I just named 3 things which are world's largest. World's largest lift irrigation project is in Telangana, India. World's largest Amazon campus is also in Hyderabad, Telangana, India. And world's largest innovation campus is also T-Hub, Hyderabad, Telangana, India. If Telangana can do all this in the last 10 years, why can't the rest of India do it? If China can beat India and become 5 times larger in about 40 years, why can't we do the same? And if Japan can recover from a devastation of a nuclear bomb and become the 3rd largest and 2nd largest economy in the world, why can't we do it? That's the question I'm asking you. How long are we going to be content being the CEOs of the world? We take a great deal of pride in Sundar Pichai, in Satya Nadella, Arvind, Shantanu Narayan, and many others who have done very well across the US. But name one Indian product which has truly been benchmarked by the rest of the world as the best in the business. Not one coming from India. If the co-founder of Perplexity, Arvind, can be an Indian guy in the US, why can't one of you in Gen Z from India, 37.7 crore Gen Z Indians, why can't you come out with something truly path-breaking? I'll leave you with 3 parting thoughts. I know Padmaja is looking at me because we have also some chat out there. 3 parting thoughts. What India needs today from Gen Z and what India needs from governments across the country is 3 things. And also from the industry is 3 things. India does not have the luxury of leapfrogging. हम बार-बार सुनते रहते हैं प्रधानमंत्री जी से कि 2047 तक इंडिया को फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड कंट्री बनाना है. India does not have the luxury. अगर बना है 22 साल में, we don't have the luxury of leapfrogging. We have to pole vault. We cannot leapfrog. The second thing I'll tell you, India does not have the luxury of inviting venture capital. We need our industry to open its purse strings. We need our industry to be adventurous. What India needs is not venture capital, but adventure capital. Also from Gen Z, what we need, what India needs to truly become first world country is not for you to come out with the next Amazon, not for you to come out, become the next Uber. I think best practices are dime a dozen. What we need from young Indians, what we need from Gen Z is next practices. We need you to redefine the world order. We need you, along with the governments and the industry, to work on next generation practices, next breakthroughs for the rest of the world. Because like I said, while the world is getting older, India is getting younger. And today, the opportunity that Gen Z has in India, there's never been a better time. Because governments are attentive, industry is attentive, capital is not a concern. You're only limited by your imagination, you're only limited by your ambition. And I'm sure with more and more such events, many of you will become innovators, many of you will become disruptors, many of you will truly come out with world-class products. I was just listening to Pawan, who's also from Telangana, by the way. Thank you for that that's enlightening inputs. Once again, thank you NDTV Yuva for giving us this opportunity. Truly delighted to be here. Cheers. Thank you.